Very well. Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Judge Bonnie Rangel. It is my honor and privilege to be judge of the 171st Judicial District Court. I hope everybody is staying safe this morning. It is 9 a.m. Oh my God, are we on time this morning? That's incredible. It is 9 a.m., 6/17/20. Of course, as everybody knows, we are in the midst of a COVID-19 pandemic, and the Supreme Court of Texas has allowed us to participate by Zoom. Let Mr. Artemio Lopez, my probation officer, in. As the Texas Supreme Court has allowed us to participate in hold hearing via Zoom live. The parties participating in this process have agreed to this process and its limitations. If there's anyone there that does object, Mr. Lucero, can you be put on mute? Can you?
Yes, Judge, because you're going in and out. I
That's
don't
what I
know
was
if
about to
Becky got
say.
any of that.
Yes, I got it. I did, but that's what I was about to say.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Lucero, can you get on mute? Can you hear me, Miss Becky Macias?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, please. Everybody get on mute because then it minimizes the. Somebody is not on mute. Okay. If there is anyone participating in this Zoom hearing that does object to being on YouTube Live and Zoom, please let me know right now verbally. Let the record reflect that there is no response. I want everybody to know participating that my court reporter, Ms. Rebecca Macias, is present, as well as Macias is my court reporter, as well as Rebecca Gonzalez, that is my court coordinator. Okay.
It's still Matthew Lucero, Judge. He's still not on mute.
Mr. Lucero,
Yes, ma'am.
you need to put yourself on mute, sir.
Okay.
I think you're having some kind of issues.
Sorry, I was trying to figure it out.
Okay, sir. Can you let me, you want me to do it for you? But then you have to know how to unmute.
Let me see if I can real quick.
Yes, you did already. Good. Okay. Now, the only court reporting, no one is to record. Thank you, Mr. Lucero. You did. You're off. Thank you, sir. No recordings of this hearing is to be done by anyone participating in this Zoom hearing or anybody watching from the public. The only recording is the official court reporter's record. I want everybody to know that it is on YouTube Live to comply with the Texas Open Courts provision. There's a chat option on the bottom. There's a chat option on the bottom of your options bar. If you want to use that or a breakout room, please let me know, ask permission, and I will be more than happy to give it to you. Once again, is there anyone here that does not understand those instructions or that objects to us proceeding with this process? Let the record reflect that there is no response, so we are going to proceed. The first one is portfolio recovery. That's Jessica Olsen Zhang. Is anybody on for Jessica Olsen Zhang? Okay, the next one is absolute resolutions, John Kettler. Is anyone on for that one?
Judge, that's a case that you signed the order for non-suit yesterday. Oh, they filed the order for non-suit today and I send it to you.
Absolute resolutions?
Yes.
2738?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, I already disposed of that case with the notice.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Acosta. I appreciate that. The next one is Lorenzo Mendez. Is anybody there for that one?
That one.
Same thing, Judge. I already disposed of that case with a non-suit.
Okay. Non-suit. The next one is American Express. Donald DeGrassi. Is anybody out there for that one? Donald DeGrassi. Okay. The next one is Barclays Bank versus Thelma Carrera. Amber Teal. Nobody participating in that one. The last one is Farah, Mr. Malad Farah for Yolanda Gonzalez. Nobody out there for that one. Okay, I'm going to start on my criminal. The first one
Judge, that was Mr. Morales, Rolando Morales. He's on.
Okay.
He's on the other side.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Morales. Can we wait for Mr. Farah, or did he allow you to talk to me and tell me what's happening with the case, Mr. Morales?
He hasn't given me authority, Judge. I will wait.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your patience. Thank you, sir. Very. As soon as, here's Mr. Farah. Okay, we'll go ahead and take care of it right now. Thank you, Mr. Morales. Mr. Farah, have you connected?
Yeah, sorry, Judge. I was having some technical issues.
Okay, that's okay, sir. That's okay. Just in time. I'm just going to call the case. 2019-3194, Yolanda Gonzalez, Cynthia Gonzalez versus Roberta King. Announcement of counsel, please.
Maled Farah for plaintiffs, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Rolando Morales for defendant, Roberta King.
Good morning. Okay, gentlemen, what's happened? We need a trial date, I guess. Somebody paid for a jury trial in this case? A jury fee?
Yes, Your Honor. We've exchanged written discovery. I think we still need to do some depositions, but we can go ahead and set this case for trial with court permission. Yes.
Okay, and you guys would not consider a bench trial? Or somebody that paid for it really wants a jury trial?
I'm okay with a bench trial, but it's up to the defendant, Your Honor.
Mr. Morales?
I am not personally opposed. I would have to consult with my client and see if they would agree.
Yeah, consult to make sure, because I don't think we're going to be in trial this year. I don't know. Trial, honestly. Okay, gentlemen?
Judge, I'm having problems hearing you. You're
Uh,
backing up.
That's Mr. Ivy. Now he's on mute, Judge.
Okay, thank you, Miss Becky. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, look to see, Mr. Morales, check to see if your client will allow a bench trial, because that'll probably be the quickest disposition of any case right now, whether it be criminal or civil. Don't you guys agree?
I would agree, Your Honor.
Agree, Judge.
Okay, so then what we're going to do, let's just pretend at this point in time that it is not, that it is a jury trial. I'm going to give you a scheduling order with the trial date. You guys work back on all the deadlines. I'm going to strictly adhere to the deadlines, gentlemen, because that's the only way that I'm going to move these cases at this point in time. Okay, so everybody be aware of that. Now,
Yes.
I think my first trial setting in this case is probably going to be 2021, January. Is that okay?
We're okay with it, Your Honor.
You okay? Because it's a 2019 case. What do you think, Mr. Morales?
I am in agreement, Judge.
Okay, very good. We're going to set this up for 2021, Miss Becky. January, probably 2021. Okay?
All right, great. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you,
Anything
Judge.
else we need to discuss in this case? We need to go to mediation. Remember that, since you've asked for a jury, we need to mediate this
Well,
case.
I'll work with Mr. Morales to get it scheduled, Your Honor.
Good, good. And maybe it may be a good idea to do it before discovery and time and monies and all of that, right?
Definitely.
Okay, you guys, do mediation. You guys
Thank
may
you,
be
Your Honor.
nice to see you both. Have a great day and stay safe.
You too. May we be excused?
Thank you, thank you, thank
Thank
you. Okay, the next one is Oscar Serrano, that's Mario Ortiz. Mario Ortiz is not there. The next one is Francisco Romo, that's Ben Ivy. Mr. Ivy is there. At this time, court call cause number 2018-4736. The state of Texas versus Francisco Romo. And count, please.
David Nunez for the state, Your Honor. State is ready.
Ben Ivy for Francisco Romo. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Ivy. And you're going to waive Mr. Romo's presence, Mr. Ivy,
I
correct?
think he's in jail, Judge.
Good. So you'll waive it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we've got Ms. Betsy Dominguez. Can you announce for the record?
Betsy Dominguez for adult probation, Your Honor.
Okay, so talk to me about Mr. Romo. What's happening with Mr. Romo?
Okay, Mr. Romo was placed on probation April 2019 for 2 years for possession of controlled substance. He was placed on my caseload in July. He has continued use of marijuana, and he has admitted.
And his what?
He has admitted to us. So we were trying to get him help. We were, myself and the caseworker referred him to Ozar for substance abuse treatment. On, let me see, on January 6th of this year, he reported to me and he admitted to using marijuana. And let me see, 2 days later, he met with the caseworker and he admitted to her again. And then he admitted that he had lost his wallet containing $200. So on January 15th, we were staffing and I received a phone call from him stating that he was feeling depressed. He wanted to hurt himself. And so myself and Ms. Caro and CSO Canales went to his home because he did say that he wanted to hurt himself. When we got there, he was calm. We asked him if he wanted to be transported to the EOU and he declined. So we were trying to get a UA from him while we were there, and he wouldn't provide. We were there for approximately 30 to 45 minutes. I asked him to report the next day, and he did call me, and he admitted to using cocaine. And so we advised you, Judge, and that's when you asked for the bench warrant.
Okay, what are you suggesting? So he's in jail right now for the drug use of marijuana and cocaine is what you're saying, right?
Correct.
Okay. The facilities a long line, Mr. I think he needs a facility is what I think he needs. He's talking about hurting himself, and then he's doing drugs, and then he's depressed, and then, right?
Correct. We are recommending BHRTC. He's been screened and accepted.
Okay. Mr. Ivy, what are you thinking about that?
Well, I believe we had a hearing back in March. We talked about trying to get him a bond since he is on deferred. And I believe we talked about some kind of facilities back then as well. And I don't think they were available for him to go to. I know he did want to be able to just get out on bond back at the time, but I have not talked to him since March, Judge. So
I
with
think
the treatment, keep him on deferred. I think that would be best for him, probably.
Tell me again, what did you say?
If we could keep him on deferred, obviously, I would love to do that.
Right. At this point, I don't want to revoke. If there's a continued drug use, there's another arrest for drug use. Okay, that may be a different story. But right now, I think I just want to put him in a facility. But Mr. Ivy, he's already accepted. He's already done. They don't put him on the list of the facilities until the modifications are done and he formally agrees. So we gotta hurry up and get him on that list. They're taking him in slowly but surely, and more slowly because of the times. But if we can get him on that list to either West Texas or RSAT, whichever's available first. We want to get him away to SafeP. Ms. Dominguez, right? I don't want to do SafeP yet.
No, Judge. No, I think he would be okay at BHRTC or RSAT.
Right. So you need to go talk to him, Mr. Ivy, to see if he's okay with that.
Okay, Judge.
And then we need to sign the mods and then just put him on the list quickly.
Yes, ma'am. I'll do that this week.
Okay. So you want me to set this up again for another status?
Only if he disagrees, Judge. If he agrees, I can just let the court know.
Perfect. Do that, please.
Okay, Judge.
So we don't have to set it for another hearing because we really don't. The mods are done and then that's it.
Correct.
Okay. So Becky, on this one, just call Mr. Ivy within 7 days, after a 7-day period, because I'm going to give you 1 week to get to the jail. After 7 days, call Mr. Ivy if we don't hear from him to see what his client has decided to do.
Okay, Judge.
That's the plan. Mr. Ivy, anything else in this case?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Very well. Thank you. Dominguez, anything else?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Ivy, if Mr. Romo does consent to going to BHRTC or RSAT, would it be possible for you to have him sign the consent?
Yes. Could you email that to me?
Yes, sir.
You want his email address, Miss?
Yes, please.
What's the email?
It's ben@benivylaw.com.
Okay, Mr. Ivy, I'll go ahead and send that to you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ivy. Anything else, Mr. Ivy?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Martinez, anything else, or Mr. Nunez? I don't remember who announced.
No, Your Honor.
Very well. You all may, Ms. Dominguez, you're good?
Yes, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. You all may be excused. The next
Thank
case, is Mr. Dutra, but Mr. Darnell is not present. We'll wait for him. The next one is Mario Delgado, that's public defender. Is that you, Mr. Vasquez?
Yes, Judge.
Court calls cause number 2019-1405, Mario Delgado. Announcement of council, please.
Yes, David Nunez for the state, Your Honor. State is ready.
Rene Vasquez for the defense. We're ready, Your Honor.
Good. Okay, Mr. Nunez, this is a settlement conference. Do we have an offer to settle?
Yes, Your Honor. And I guess before I relay the rec, I don't know if you recall, Your Honor, this case, we didn't have any recs prior just because there were 2 P-file cases pending, and one was a DWI and the other one was a state jail possession. I have conferenced with Mr. Martinez on it, and we're willing to offer on the indicted cases 5 years deferred, 100 hours.
Hang on a second.
Yes, Your Honor.
I only had one indicted case.
I think that there's two state jail felony possessions that are indicted, Your Honor. And I
The
think
second one
later on the
should be
docket.
docket.
I'm sorry?
One is later on the docket, Your Honor. It's I think the next page, I believe.
It's the next page, yes.
Yes, Your Honor, it's the next page on page 3.
Okay, so we are on the record 2019-5110 as well, and 1405.
Yes, Your Honor. And so the recommendation we're giving for both of these cases to run concurrent is 5 years deferred probation, 100 hours of community service, $500 fine, drug counseling, 180 hours, $180 of restitution to Texas DPS, UABA curfew, and we will decline the 2 P-file cases.
Wow, you're declining a DWI. You know what I didn't do? Mr. Delgado, you are participating, right? Where are you, Mr. Delgado?
Yes, Your Honor.
There you are, sir. Do you see and recognize your attorney, Mr. Vasquez, on the screens?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Vasquez, do you see and recognize Mr. Delgado as your client and the defendant in this case?
Yes, I do, Judge.
Very well. Let the record reflect that. Both have identified each other. I'm sorry, I forgot to do that at the beginning. Okay, well, that's a pretty darn good offer to settle, Mr. Vasquez, with all of that.
It is a good deal, Judge. I think I'm just gonna discuss it with my client and probably we're gonna set it for a plea, Judge.
Okay, very good. Very good. Give it to Miss Becky. I'm hoping to begin in-person, non-custodial pleas by mid-July if everybody lets me.
We'll try, Judge.
Nobody lets us do a darn thing anymore, you know? But we're gonna try that, okay? But call Miss Becky. I'm not gonna set this up for another settlement conference because I think
I'll explain it and I think it's a good deal, Judge. I think it's a very good offer. I'll talk to him.
Very good. Okay, Mr. Delgado, thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate you taking a little bit of time from work, Mr. Delgado, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You may be excused. Mr. Vasquez, did you have more?
Not in the morning, Judge, in the afternoon. It's usually in the afternoon.
Thank you, sir. You may be excused. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
We have Mr. Darnell is present, Mr. Dutra. At this time, court calls cause number 2018-3345, the state of Texas versus Gary. Announcement of council, please.
David Nunez for the state, Your Honor. State is ready.
Jim Darnell for Gary Dutra. We're ready, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Dutra, do you see your attorney on the screen and recognize him as your attorney, Mr. Dutra?
Yes, I can hear him there. I don't see the picture though.
Okay, Mr. Darnell, can you come back? But you can hear him and you recognize his voice, right, Mr. Dutra?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. And Mr. Darnell, do you see and recognize your client as the defendant in this case?
I do, Your Honor.
Very well. Let the record reflect that both have identified. This is a settlement conference as well, Mr. Nunez. What are we looking at? What are you
Yes, Your
offering?
Honor. On portal, we have an old rec that was 5 deferred. However, I was going to request if we could look inside the jacket because I could have sworn that we did work out a different rec than what was on this on portal.
Okay, let's see. Mr. Castañeda, what's on the jacket, sir?
What I see on the jacket, Judge, let me just make sure there's nothing else written. This is dating back to December 11th of last year. The rec is 1244A, 2 years deferred. Or 1244A or 2 years deferred 1244B.
So it's 1244A or 1244B, 2 years deferred.
Correct.
What's the offer for the 1244A?
It doesn't say, Judge.
That doesn't sound like a logical offer. I wrote.
If I had to guess, Your Honor, I'm thinking it was probably one of those, the 1244A, 2 years deferred, or 1244B times served. I would think that that would make more sense.
Oh yeah, because this offer doesn't make any sense. Yeah. I wrote it kind of quirky. Okay, so is that your offer right now, Mr. Nunez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. What are you thinking, Mr. Darnell? That sounds pretty good.
Well, Judge, it would be if my client did it.
Okay.
But that's the problem we've got here, but I will talk to him certainly about this. This is something worth discussing. We will discuss it. If not, this is probably a case that could be set on the trial track if we're not able to resolve it.
Got it. Sir, why don't we do this? This is the first time I have had a settlement conference in this case that I've been involved in. Let's set it up for one more settlement conference. If we can't
Okay.
work it out after one more settlement conference, then we'll leave it alone and put it on the trial track and see when we try it. Okay?
That'll work.
Okay, one more trial setting in this one. Anything else, Mr. Darnell?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Anything else, Mr. Nunez, in this case?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. You all may be excused. Have a great day. The next.
Thank you.
Thank you. Be safe, Mr. Darnell. Antoine Collins. Is Mr. Ruben Nunez in? Yes, he is. There you go. At this time, court calls cause number 2019-2066, Antoine Collins. Announcement of council, please.
David Nunez for the state, Your Honor.
Antoine.
State ready?
Ruben Nunez for the defendant, Your Honor. The defendant is ready.
Good. And Mr. Collins, there you are, sir. How are you this morning?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
I'm good, sir. Mr. Collins, do you see and recognize your attorney on the screen as your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Nunez, do you see and recognize your client as the defendant in this case?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Very well. I think we both have recognized each other. Okay, this is a settlement conference. No, this was in regards, this was set for a Wednesday trial. on March 13th. And everybody knows what happened after March the 13th. So, how do you think you feel on this one, Mr.
Judge, I'm having problems hearing you because there's a lot of ruffling going on.
Yeah.
That's from, I believe that's from Mr. Collins. That's from
I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Collins.
I'm at work right now.
Okay, sir, you need to calm down. You need to calm down and sit down, sir, for 3 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Collins, if you want to be on mute, put yourself on mute. And then if you want to chime in or participate, sir, you can unmute. But let's put
Okay,
you
we'll,
on right now.
we'll
because
do.
you're identified. Okay, how are we going to handle this Wednesday trial, Mr. Nunez? I'm
Your
sorry.
Honor,
Yeah, Mr. David Nunez, not Ruben Nunez.
However the court wants, Your Honor, I know that the complaining witness is watching this right now, I believe.
Okay.
If you would like, I mean, we could have her call in, or maybe I could give her the Zoom link, Your Honor, but I've been in contact with her. She's a little nervous, but if push came to shove, I think we could get her on board for trial if it did come to that. I think this case could get resolved.
Could be.
Without a
could-
trial.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, but I have been in contact with my complaining witness.
Okay, I'm gonna ask both attorneys, both Nunez, David and Ruben. Do you think there is value to get her in this Zoom hearing to participate? And
I
if
do not.
so, what would she do? Or what would she?
I would say no, Your Honor, but just because of your second question, what would she do?
What would she do?
Basically Say hi.
Okay, but you're saying now that she's on board and wanting to prosecute.
She's hesitant, but like I said, if push came to shove and we went to trial, I believe I could get her served. I know where to serve her and make her come to trial, Your Honor, to
Okay.
testify.
Okay, can you make an offer to Mr. Ruben Nunez that maybe will make all this go away and nobody has to do a darn thing?
Yes, Your Honor. The recommendation that I put is 10 deferred, 250 hours of community service, anger management, family violence finding, deadly weapon finding, to wit, a firearm, UABA, as well as a curfew, Your Honor.
Mr. Ruben Nunez, what are you thinking, sir?
I sent Mr. Nunez, Mr. David Nunez, a counter offer through the private chat, Your Honor. We would be willing to accept a terroristic threat, 2 years deferred, anger management, mental health counseling, and standard conditions of probation.
Okay, okay, it's moving in the direction of trying to settle. Mr. David Nunez, is this something you need to speak to your complaining witness about?
Absolutely, and as well as Mr. Martinez as well, I'd like to run that by him as well, considering it's a 3G offense, so.
Right, okay, okay. I think this is something that I think you need to do and you need to do privately, right? Either through email or by phone, Mr. Nunez, I really think so. I think we're moving in the right direction in this case, I really do. So let's set it up for one more settlement conference, both Mr. Nunez's. Is that a good idea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Let's set it up for in 2 to 3 weeks, gentlemen. Does that sound good?
Sounds good, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
2 to 3 week settlement conference. Keep emailing, keep talking, keep doing. And
do.
then if you guys reach an agreement, tell Miss Becky if it has to be a plea, we'll put it on the list of in-person pleas soon. Okay, everybody?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you all. You may be excused. Stay safe. Mr. Collins, thank you so much for participating. It was nice to see your face, sir. Have a great day.
You too, ma'am. Stay safe.
You too, sir. Thank you. Okay,
Thank you.
the next one is Matthew Lucero. That's Mr. Parra. At this time, court calls number 2019-5645. Matthew Lucero. Announcement of council, please.
David Nunez for the state, Your Honor. Stage is ready.
Victor Parra for Mr. Lucero, Your Honor. We're ready.
Very good. Okay. Will you wave Mr. Lucero or Mr. Lucero? Oh, Mr. Lucero is present. Where are you, Mr. Lucero? Please unmute. Mr. Lucero.
Okay, I'm here.
Here you are, Mr. Lucero. Do you see and recognize your attorney, Mr. Parra, as your attorney on the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good, sir. And Mr. Parra, do you see and recognize Mr. Lucero as the defendant in this case and your client?
I do, Your Honor.
Let the record reflect that both have identified each other. Okay. Mr. Nunez.
Yes, Your Honor. The recommendation in this case is 2 days time served on a Class B reckless driving.
Oh, that sounds like a great, great, great deal.
Your Honor, I agree, and we're ready to plea on this case. The only thing is that he has some pending misdemeanors, and if Mr. Nunez is able to dispose of those with a time served rec as well, we can set everything up.
Can you dispose of the misdemeanors?
Yes, Your Honor. I will definitely offer that.
Okay.
They're, I believe, POMs, 3 POMs.
Dismissal of misdemeanors, 3 POMs. Very good. That sounds like a fabulous deal, Mr. Parra. Grab it.
Yes, Your Honor, and I'll get with Mr. Nunez. I don't know if there's some P files, but either way, there would be POMs as well. But yes, I'd like to set up for a plea.
Okay, let's do that. Ms. Becky, we're gonna put it in person, please. Let's see when they allow us to do it. Mr. Parra, okay? I'm hoping mid-July.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, sir, so you'll get notice. So no further action needed. We're just gonna set up for a plea.
Okay, sounds good, Your Honor.
Maybe excused. Have a good day.
Thank you, David.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Next one is Vincent Malcolm. That's you, Mr. Sebastian.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Sebastian, thank you. At this time, court calls number 2019. Is it Mr. Lucero that's giving?
Yes, Judge, it is Mr. Lucero. He's still on.
There he is. Okay, I'm going to remove Mr. Lucero. Do you want to remove? Okay, there it is. Okay, 2019-57-52, Vincent Malcolm, announcement of council, please.
David Nunez for the state, Your Honor. State is ready.
Sebastian Nunez here on behalf of Mr. Malcolm. Ready, Judge?
Very well, and Mr. Malcolm's not present, right? Will
He
you
is
waive-
not, Judge.
Will you waive his
Yes,
appearance this time, Mr. Nunez? Yes, okay, very good. What's the offer to settle, Mr. Nunez? David?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hey, moving this morning, holy moly. Mr. David, what's the offer?
Yes, Your Honor. The offer is to reduce this offense to a state jail felony and offer the options of 1244A, 2 years deferred, 50 hours of community service, $100 fine, UABA, as well as a curfew, or a 1244B time served.
Okay, what are you thinking, Mr. Sebastian?
I mean, I think they're both good offers, Judge. However, I think last time I had spoken to my client, which was last week, he just wanted I guess, a bit of time just to think about which one he would want to accept. I don't think there's going to be any issues. The moment he does accept one, or the moment I do talk to him about the offers, we'll go ahead and call Becky and, set it up for a plea, Judge.
Mr. Sebastian, can I just kind of up one on you and set it up for a plea, and that'll give you time to decide? We're not setting plea. I don't know if we're going to even be able to by July 15th. So that's 30 days, Mr. Sebastian. You want to be taken off the list? The problem is I can't be taken off the list, but let's put you on the list.
Okay, well, sounds good, Judge.
You
Yes.
have at least 30 days to think about it. If you need more time, I'll give you more time to set, sir. You know that.
Sounds good, Judge. And Judge, out of curiosity, just in the scenario that he wouldn't want to accept, one of the deals in the end, would we just be able to let the court know, or?
Let Becky know, get us off the plea. We don't have an agreement.
Okay, sounds good, Judge.
Get us off the list. We don't have an agreement. Put us on the trial track because we can't agree. Because I don't think Mr. Nunez is going to get, David Nunez is going to get better than this.
No, and it's a good offer, Judge. So I think we're on board.
Right. So just call Becky and tell her, get us off the list. We're going to try this case.
Will do, Judge.
Okay. Thank you all. You made anything else, Mr. Sebastian?
Nothing further, Judge. May be excused.
Yes, sir. Anything else, Mr. David Nunez?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You all may be excused. Thank you. Okay. Now let me go back to my docket. I'm going back to my docket. Is anybody there for portfolio recovery? Jessica Olson Zhang. Ms. Becky, can you call them up and see if they got notice or what happened? And then American Express National Bank, Donald DeGrassi, please.
Okay, Judge, I will.
Barclays, I need all those three, please. Find out what happened. How come they're not participating? The next one is Oscar Serrano, Mr. Mario Ortiz, at this time, 1149, Oscar Serrano, announcement of council, please.
David Nunez for the state, Your Honor. State is ready.
Mario Ortiz Aroldi on behalf of Mr. Serrano, Your Honor, we're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Ortiz Saroldi. Do you waive the presence of your client, Mr. Saroldi Ortiz?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
Saroldi. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay. Mr. Gabe Guerra, can you announce and then tell me what's happening with this case?
Good morning, Judge. Gabriel Guerra for Adopted.
Mr. Guerra, how are you this morning?
Good and yourself, Judge?
I'm good, sir. Thank you. Talk to me, Mr. Guerra. What happened?
Well, Mr. Serrano has failed to report since February of 2018, Judge. That's the reason for the MTR. He was only ordered community service hours and to pay back restitution. At this time, he needs 93 community service hours out of 200. His probation did terminate on June the 3rd of 2020, Judge.
We did file an MTR is on file. Okay. How much has he paid any restitution?
No, Judge, he hasn't. He owes 151, Judge.
Sir, say it again. Say the figure again. I didn't hear you.
$151.57.
Thank you.
Okay, what were the circumstances of his arrest? Mr. Bench warrant. How did he get arrested on this bench warrant? Was it a traffic?
That's Mr. Serra, Judge. He just came on and he's not on mute.
Serra, get on mute, please.
Okay, yes, ma'am, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll get you next, Mr. Serra. I know you have a doctor's appointment. Okay, what is happening then with
Judge, I think they picked him up at his house, I think, if I recall correctly.
wasn't an egregious another offense?
No, ma'am. Yeah, he did not pick up any offense. No, ma'am.
Okay, what's the recommendation of the probation department in this case, Mr. Guerra?
Judge, obviously we want him to continue on probation, extend for 2 years with no early discharge.
Okay, that sounds 20. Yeah, it's 2 years extension. He absconded for 2 years. Mr. Ortiz Aroldi, what are you thinking about that?
Judge, if we're keeping him on deferred, Your Honor, my client will agree to that.
Oh, so he is on deferred.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Nunez, what do you want? What are you thinking about this case?
Just considering that he absconded for so long, Your Honor, I was thinking about adjudicating him straight and then extending him for 2 years.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with you. Deferred is for people, oops, first time mistake, and then that complies with the terms and conditions of their probation. I'm not very happy unless you can move me and Mr. Nunez, Mr. Ortiz Aroldi, as to why he absconded for 2 years. Abducted by aliens? Did he, go take care of his mother who lives in the jungles of Mexico? Or, give us something that moves our heart as to why he disappeared for 2 years and didn't report.
I'm not certain, Judge. I can provide you a colorful explanation that would meet those kind of criteria.
I want to know the truth, actually. Mr. Guerra, do you have any clue? Have you spoken to him as to why he absconded for so long?
Judge, I've never met Mr. Serrano.
Okay.
He, Judge, from what I understand in speaking to him, he had previously worked as a security guard, lost his job with this case, or right before, started having trouble in relation to some family issues, fell into some kind of depression because he couldn't help his family out, his children. And he absconded for that reason. He started reporting, he was apparently talking to them over the phone for a few months, and then he just stopped reporting, Judge. And he told me he was just in a bad place emotionally because he felt really helpless, that because of the arrest and the subsequent deferred, he was having trouble getting job, Judge, which he was able to get a few months ago, a job, which he would have if he gets out. And I got a letter from the employer verifying that. It just seems to me, Judge, from what I understand, because he provides child support for some children from a previous relationship, plus he has his current relationship with his wife and child. It's more of an economic thing that put him in a real bad spot, Judge. That's what I'm understanding as to what occurred. He did not reoffend, did not pick up new charges, did not violate any other condition. Obviously, the reporting was a big issue. He did mention to me, though, he said he did pay off the restitution, Judge. He did have some hours of community service pending. And I believe the monies that are owed may be associated with probation fees. I don't know if that's true or not.
I thought the money owed was restitution. Mr. Guerra?
Judge, I apologize. He did pay the restitution. I apologize for that, but he just owes the court costs. That's it. I mean, the fine.
Okay.
Judge, I understand that we don't want to make it easy on this gentleman. If it's possible, can we, if we get him out, can we have him take care of those hours, do what he needs to do quickly, and then maybe extend him at that point, Judge, if he shows he's being a good boy?
Yeah, when did he get arrested, Mr. Guerra? What's the date of arrest, somebody?
I think it was around May 27th or so, Judge, May 26th, I think.
I think at best, we're here talking about keeping him on deferred or putting him on straight. In either case, it's probation. Nobody wants to revoke. Nobody wants to send him to the pen. Nobody wants to do ugly things to him. Mr. Nunez, Mr. Guerra, is it okay if I put him out on a PR bond? He's going to have to do some heavy duty. He's going to have to comply with his probation. He's going to have to comply with PR bond. And then let's see what he does, how he does, and maybe we'll be convinced to keep him on deferred. Or Mr. Nunez, you may stick to your and say he's going to be revoked and it's going to be straight. But I think he needs to get out of jail.
Judge, he was arrested May 26th.
Okay. Mr. Guerra, do you agree that he needs to be out of jail right now on a PR bond?
Yes, Judge.
Let's make him put his money where his mouth is and see if he can comply with 2 officers. Mr. Nunez, David, what are you thinking? Are you okay with
it.
I'm sorry?
I'm okay with that, Your Honor. Let's see how he does on the PR bond.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that because we're talking probation. It's just deferred or straight. Okay, let's do this. We're going to set it up for another settlement conference or another pre-revo, whatever it's set for today, or a status. Okay, Mr. Ortiz Saroldi.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We're going to let him out on a PR bond. My normal PR bond, no bars, no drugs, no alcohol, no arrest, no offenses against the state of Texas or any other state. He cannot leave El Paso County unless and until he has my permission. He's going to report 1 time monthly to the PR bond officer. He's going to give a UA 1 time monthly with 24 hours notice to the PR bond officer. And then how many times is he supposed to report to you, Mr. Guerra?
He was supposed to be reporting monthly, Judge.
Okay, so you need to tell him, Mr. Ortiz Saroldi, that he needs to report to 2 officers, a PR bond officer and his probation officer. And he better not misstep, mess up, any excuses, because guess what? This is his chance. He could be a convicted felon if he doesn't follow the terms of everything I'm laying out right now for
Judge, I do have a question, Judge.
Okay.
His probation ended on June the 3rd, 2020.
Oh.
Hold on is the MTR.
Then guess what? We can't force him to comply with the terms of probation until and unless he decides. Well, this is what I'm going to do. he has to report to his PR bond officer. I can't touch his probation. You're right. We're gonna have this for another status in 2 weeks and see what he wants to do. But we won't have a history of how he's behaving. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm amending the terms of my PR bond already. He's gonna report 1 time a week for 30 days. And then we're gonna revisit this in 30 days and see how he behaves. He's gonna give a UA 1 time a month, 24 hours notice still, but I do want him to report once a week to his PR bond officer. Curfew is going to be 9 to 6 p.m. Did I get everything, Mr. Castañeda?
Amounts, Judge?
Let's put him on a 10,000.
Straight PR?
Straight PR? What else? Anything else we need to discuss, Mr. Yeah, we can't enforce probation unless we extend it. We're not going to extend it unless we have his consent. Okay? Mr. Ortiz Saroldi, anything else, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Nunez?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. You all may be excused. Have a great day.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you,
Mr.
Judge Medley.
Thank you. Yes, you all may be excused. Mr. Seta, you have a doctor's appointment, I think.
Have a great day, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Seta. Yes. Mr. Seta, you have a doctor's appointment at 10 or 10:30, I was told.
Yes, Judge, I do.
Okay, how are you doing? You don't look very good. You look sleepy or tired. Or...
I have no idea what's wrong. I just got out of the chiropractor right now and they massage me and they do all that stuff, crack my neck, my shoulder.
Good.
And I mean, sometimes like the first time I went in there, I went with some pain, but when I got out of there, it was like worse. And
really?
Yeah. And then like I've been going for this past, it's 40 sessions. So I've been going, and every time there's a crack or you know, he positions me and I guess he's adjusting my body because according to him that I was pretty banged up, out of shape, and I'm like, well, how come he said that I didn't feel anything because I was a sedative with the medication that they had given me from the hospital, and then I'm already off of that. You know, I just have like 2 more and that's it. And but he's saying that it's just the adjustment that he's doing, that I'm gonna feel like that for a while. I'm like, well, okay, well, and then the appointment is for an MRI,
right?
Because the day of the accident, they found something, and they wanted to make sure, so they scheduled this MRI. It's actually tomorrow, but today's appointment is to get the assistance and all that help.
Good.
And after that, this one is through the Del Sol hospital and my primary doctor, and then the chiropractor, he also wants an MRI through his stuff.
Okay, good for you. Good. Well, at least you're taking.
Rather than that, I'm doing good, Judge. I'm just focusing, you know, feeling good. You know, I have a real good communication with my younger daughter. She graduated. She texted me yesterday. She tells me, "Hey, Dad, in the fall I'm gonna start community college. Can you help me try to get a little laptop?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure," because they never, you know, they haven't asked me for anything in a long time or anything. So right now that's my focus, and then just trying to do these yard works that I could do. If not, I have my partner help me to do them, because I don't want to be doing anything heavy and stuff, and then somebody come and tell me, "Oh, well, if you're so injured and this and that, why are you working?" So that's why I'm laying back. You know, I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do any work that's hard, or you know, something which is simple, like you know, just.
Mr. Seta, you're thinking like a lawyer now. I'm proud of you. Right. You're gonna say that. How can you say you're hurt and then here you are working? You're thinking like a lawyer, and I'm very proud of you. Amen.
Yeah. No,
Mr.
I'm just chilling. I don't even want to be driving and stuff. You know, it's not that I'm scared. It's just like, I want to do things right. You know, and if they tell me not to be working, to focus on the therapy, that's what I'm gonna do. You know, because there's a lot of times that they would tell me what to do, and I wanted to do something else, and it didn't lead to nothing good.
Mr. Serra, did you settle the case at all?
No, we're still settling for the injuries.
Okay.
But for the car, they gave me a little bit more than book Cali book value, and I'm doing good. I was fortunate that one of the ladies that I bought a little trailer from for $50 for my work. She gave me a car. I asked her what's going on with that car that's parked there that has 2 flat tires and a sticker from 2016. And so she went inside her house and came back out with the keys and the title, and she said, "Here, you could have it." I'm like, "What? Wait a minute. How much do you want for it?" She said, "No, you could have it." So I took it home, and now it's just a matter of a part coming in from Amazon, and it's running.
She gave you a car?
Gave me a car.
Who is this lady?
This lady, it was just some random lady that I passed through her house, and there was a trailer on the side of it, and I was looking for a trailer, so I stopped and I asked her, "How much do you want for the trailer?" And she said $50. And when she said $50, I'm like, "Wait, this is too good to be true." So I gave her $60. And then she told me the whole story about the trailer and the car, and it's that her husband had passed away. So that car was sitting there for 4 years, and I took it home, and it worked. It's an Isuzu Rodeo, 1995, and it worked.
I'm having problems, Judge, hearing him.
This one doesn't really need to be on the record, Ms. Becky. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You don't need the record. This is a Phoenix project. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Judge, I think it might be you. It might be your judge. I'm kind of getting it every time you're talking. It's coming out from yours.
Okay. Okay, can you hear me now clearly, Mr. Salazar? Or no?
They're coming out very distorted.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. Okay, can you understand me, Mr. Seta?
I could hear you like, it sounds like you're on a walkie-talkie.
Oh, God. You're talking, that's not good. Okay, let me see, I don't know. Okay. Mr. Seta, I'm going to tell you to be careful with her. Maybe she wants more. Mr. Seta?
Yes, Judge.
Be careful, she may want more.
Okay.
Be cool, Take care of yourself, okay? That's all I have to say. Ms. Scotto, how is Mr. Seta doing?
Hello, Your Honor. I'm filling in for Lucinda today. Mr. Seta's doing fantastic. He's doing well. He knows what to do. He knows when to do it. He's complying with EHN. He has his next appointment on the 24th with Amanda Davis at 9:15. He goes to all his appointments, Your Honor. At this point, we have no complaints on him whatsoever.
Okay. Mr. Seta, I am so proud of you. In spite of that horrible thing that happened to you, that accident, you have kept up, you kept your spirits up, you have a great attitude, you're compliant with everything we're asking you to do. Mr. Seta, you're fabulous.
Thank you, Judge. I'm hanging in there, just waiting for the next thing to come at me so I could deal with it.
Don't say that. It's not going to happen. Don't say that. You're calling it into existence. Don't do that.
Okay, yes, you're right.
Don't. It's all good. It's all good for you. Everything is good for you. Okay,
Yes,
Mr.
Judge.
Serra, go to your doctor's appointment. Anything else you need from us, Mr. Serra?
Oh, no, Judge, I'm doing good. I'm just, waiting. It's just a matter of waiting now.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, sir. You need anything from us, you tell Ms. Guerra and we'll get on it.
Yes,
Okay?
I will, Judge.
Stay safe.
Thank you, Mr. Serra.
Thank you. Thank you.
You take care.
Bye-bye. I'm gonna log off now.
Yes, sir. Log off, please. Rick, am I doing better? Can you hear me better?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. What happened with the 3 civil cases? The first one is for Jessica. Dang. Oh my God. Let me get Mr. Serra off.
On one of them, Judge, an attorney should be signing in. That would be on the first one, 2526.
Okay, what about the second, what about American Express?
I'm on the line.
Miss Acosta, did these people get notice? Let's talk about Degrassi.
Yes, they did, Judge, and it was opened.
I'm
The
sorry?
notice was the notice was opened.
Okay, the same on portfolio recovery, the first case on my docket this morning?
Yes, it was opened as well.
And then what about on page 2, Barclays Bank at the top?
Yes, it was opened as well.
You know, these out-of-town attorneys just can't come to a hearing irregardless, which is outrageous. I think we finished with all my criminal docket, right? We finished with all my criminal docket till 11 o'clock Phoenix. Everybody on that is criminal can leave. Mr. Martinez, Mr. Nunez, just one of you come back for my Phoenix project at 11.
Yes, Your Honor, I'll be here.
Thank you. Thank
Judge-
you. Excuse. Yes, Mr.
I was
Martinez.
gonna say, did you want us to be present for the Phoenix project? I don't think we've been.
It is up to you. It's
Okay.
up to you. If you want to, great. If you don't want to, that's okay too.
Well, it's not so much that we don't want to, Judge. It's just, we're just working on other things. I mean, if you need us,
On
certainly.
other things. Yeah, okay. If you're working on other things, no problem. If you're moving my docket, yeah, no problem. Yeah. If I need you, I'll call you.
Okay.
I did want to talk about just quickly, and I know just if I digress for a second, the misdemeanor judgment you received in an email where the time amount of jail hadn't been filled out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes. You were sent an email this morning from Becky about a plea I think that we did last Friday where
What's the name of the defendant?
Let's see here. Gosh. Isaac Ramos. Isaac Ramos. So part of it was he pled to a misdemeanor, and apparently the amount of time in the misdemeanor plea papers hadn't been filled out properly.
Okay.
So that just
misdemeanor plea papers. I just signed. They've got
right. Well, you know what? The thing is, David and I, we don't ordinarily do the misdemeanor pleas. So we had sent them to Mr. Castañon, and he didn't fill out that portion either. So apparently it just kind of got past both of us. So Becky had sent you this morning the paperwork just for you to fill in the amount of time in jail.
I don't know the amount of time in jail. How do I get that? How do I know?
It's in the email. It's 208 days.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So there's just like a sense of urgency to it because apparently this is the only thing keeping Mr. Ramos in jail.
Okay. Okay. You attorneys need to know that I don't fill in any of the bodies of these documents, especially in misdemeanor cases. I don't know what I'm doing in misdemeanor cases.
Right.
And I don't
You know what, Judge? And the thing of it is, honestly, and I don't know if David felt the same way, I thought that portion of the paperwork was going to be filled out by the clerk.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It looks like the type of thing that we wouldn't fill out. So we say, okay, well, that's going to be filled out by the clerk later on. but apparently not.
Well, let's do this, Mr. Martinez. Let's get Becky. Becky's trying to take care of my civil docket right now. Let's
Yes,
get
ma'am.
Becky on board. I didn't know, the other issue I had is I didn't know who to send the misdemeanor plea papers back to. Once I've signed them. I get them from Becky.
Right.
I just
Yeah,
send them
you know,
back
and
to Becky.
I thought probably what needs to be done in those situations is we need to have a county clerk during those Zoom hearings.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that county clerk, and I don't know, you know.
We'll talk to Becky. We'll talk to
Okay.
Becky and see what the procedure is. I'd be curious to see what other judges are doing when they handle misdemeanor pleas, who they're sending back the plea papers to. We'll find that out.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
So
take care.
yeah, so that's what's happening. Sorry about that, Judge. I just want to clarify that.
No, that's okay. That's okay, Mr. Martinez.
Right.
I'll get on
Right.
it as soon as I can. I have my Phoenix project at 11, so it's going to be at least.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
And
Take care.
Judge, I thought you wanted David on the Phoenix project, because Whitney was gonna give her little talk to the Phoenix people. Only if he wants to.
David who?
Nunez.
Oh, Mr. Nunez, I don't think, well, yeah, Miss Chandler's going to give us 10 minutes of her time or 15 minutes of some words of wisdom. Mr. Nunez, you can participate or not. My goal was to take, these are words of wisdom, I think, for our members in the Phoenix Project. You want to participate, you can. And once again, you don't have to. No.
Well, you know what, Judge? If she's going to be presenting today, then absolutely. I mean, that's something unique. Absolutely. I'll.
I think you
log in. I don't know
both
if
need
I've
it.
got the-
I think you both need some spiritual guidance.
Hey, it takes a village. I'll be the
Yeah.
first one to say it.
Okay.
So I'll log in. I don't
Come back
think
in.
I've got the invite for 11 though.
I'm sorry?
I
Okay.
don't think I've got the invite for 11.
11? Okay. Miss Becky, give the invite. No, it's the same invite.
The same invite. They just signed in at 11.
Yeah, it's the same invite. I'm not using 10,000 invites. That's
Oh,
it's-
okay.
You can use the same one because I'm not going to get.
Okay. Well, then I'll be here. I'll be here at 11, and I'll participate in the Phoenix.
Perfect.
You know, considering it's something unique and definitely.
Miss Whitney's going to be presenting. Absolutely. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
my
you,
dear.
Judge.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Miss Becky, now we need to know what's happening with these civil cases.
Judge.
Yes. Hi, Samuel.
Good morning, Judge. I'm going to log off for a little bit and I'll log on back at 11, Judge.
Good. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
Me too, Judge.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. You guys take a little break. Ms. Acosta, not yet. I'll let you go in a minute once Becky tells me about the cases that you're still.
Yes, ma'am, at 9 o'clock. Judge, hold on just a moment.
Well, we've got Mr. Chase Linser. Mute. Let me take care of Chase Linser. Are you there, sir?
I am here, Your Honor. How are you doing today?
I'm not very good. I'm not very happy with you.
Okay.
What is your name?
My name is Chase Linser, and I am an attorney with Roush Sturm. The attorney that was set to be here for this is actually in another hearing at this time that's been continued over. And I was asked to hop on and see if I could help you with
case?
whatever you may need. It looks like it is 2018.
Give me the style, please.
It's going to be Portfolio Recovery Associates versus Enrique Chuca.
Okay. I got it. That's the first one on the docket. Miss Olson Zhang was the one that was supposed to participate, sir, correct?
Yes, ma'am. That is correct, Your Honor.
When and if you are late for a hearing, do you just blow off the court, ignore the court, and not even make a phone call to say, we're going to be late?
I would not do that in this situation, Your Honor. I would try to call the court if I could, and if I was in a hearing, I would.
So you tell Miss Olson Zhang that she needed to have acted more professionally, more appropriately, and more respectfully. And she needed to have called this court if there was an issue. I'll be on as soon as I can. That's what needs to happen. You out-of-town attorneys can't be on time, can't participate in any hearing, whether it be in person or on Zoom. And I'm getting tired of it. You guys disrespect all the time, and there's no excuse because now there's Zoom. You can stay in Houston, you can stay in Austin, you can stay wherever the heck you are from. But you need to participate and you need to respect the judges of El Paso County. And I'm getting sick and tired of it.
You are 100% correct, Your Honor.
Absolutely, I am 100% correct. You guys don't respect, don't handle cases in El Paso County. Stay out of El Paso County, handle the cases in your county, and you don't have to show up. And you don't have to make the judges angry and disrespect the judges here in El Paso County because you can't even participate with Zoom. There's no excuse. And you tell her she needs to call me. I need to have a conversation with her to tell her how to practice law, how to be professional, and how to be respectful. So she needs to call my office today.
I will let her know, Your Honor.
Outrageous how you all handle law. What is happening in this case, sir? We don't have.
It looks.
Hang on, sir. Hang on. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. We don't have opposing counsel, first of all. Do we?
We do not, Your Honor.
Okay. Has the defendant been served yet or not? Or is he in default status?
Actually, Your Honor, it looks as if we have entered into an agreed judgment in a settlement agreement that we're trying to get sent to the court. But
how are you trying to send it that I'm not getting it then?
we have not yet received it back from the defendant. We are waiting for them to sign it and send it back with their signature so we can send it over to the court.
Is the defendant represented by counsel or is he participating pro se?
He is participating pro se.
Okay, sir. When did you send out that judgment to the defendant?
Let me look real quick. It looks like the agreed judgment was sent out in December, Your Honor.
So, what are you waiting for?
I can email them today and reach out to get that.
You see how remiss you guys are in your cases, even? Not only do you not show up, but you're remiss. There's no excuse for the coronavirus. You had 3 months to get it and you didn't get it back? What are we waiting for?
I do not know what we are waiting for, Your Honor.
Where are you guys from? Where are you from?
We have offices in Houston and in Dallas. I'm currently located in Dallas.
Okay. And where is Miss Olsen Zhang located?
She is located out of our Houston office.
Okay. So this is how you guys practice law in Houston and Dallas, loosey-goosey. Is what I'm seeing. A document is sent since December, and here we are, June, 6 months later, and you can't even tell the judge, oh my God. It's here, it's there, he's refusing to sign.
You're right, Your Honor. We need to do better.
I know that. I'm not on my high horse. I'm not on this for nothing. I know I am. I have every right to be angry. Not only law, Lucy, Miss Becky, we're setting this up for next week, next Wednesday, Thursday. Hopefully by then you will have an agreed judgment. Hopefully by then you will realize that you need to participate in Zoom and you need to be timely and you need to come and tell the judge what is happening. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so it's going to be set for 1 week. Please tell Miss Olsen Zhang that she needs to participate. 1 week is another status reset. I want to hear from her today because I want to know why she did not respect this court and call the court to tell us she was going to be late. She's sending somebody else, some kind of professional attention to this court. I want to know why she did not do that.
Yes, Your Honor. I will pass that along.
Please. Anything else, Mr. Linser, we need to discuss?
That is all that we have, Your Honor.
And you pass it along that she needs to participate. Miss Becky, is it next Wednesday at 9 o'clock?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Okay, there it is. Next Wednesday, whatever the date is, at 9 o'clock. Mr. Linzer, please. Thank you. You may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes. Then we have, what's happening with American Express? Ms. Becky?
Okay, that one judge, they said they're gonna file a dismissal and they're sending it to me today.
Okay. I need to talk to Mr. Donald DeGrassi.
Oh, okay, I just hung up with them. She didn't get an attorney, so let me call.
I need an attorney. They need to participate. They need to know they're not going to ignore me, not even with Zoom, Becky. That's outrageous. We have to be calling them? I don't think so. What happened with the next one?
Okay, and on the next one, Barclays Bank versus Carrera, Michael Moss said that along with the motion that was filed January 23rd, that they filed an order, but she was telling me that they e-filed it. And I told her, well, it wasn't attached to the motion and it's not downloaded in the district clerk's file. I said, and they would have had to have sent it to me personally. So she's also gonna send it, but she said that they had closed out their file because it was sent in January.
What
So
was
she's
it?
gonna, then order of non-suit. She said she's gonna send it to me right now too.
Miss Joanne, do we have anything on Barclays?
There was a proposed order filed along with the notice of non-suit, Judge, but I did reject it and I put notes that the proposed order was not routed to the court anymore and to file it to the court coordinator. And that was in January of 2019.
Of 2019?
Yes, Judge. I always put my notes on my comments when I receive a proposed order to reroute it to the court coordinator via email.
Okay. Becky. Oh, she's
Yes,
on.
ma'am.
On all these civil cases, you're going to set them up for status dismissals from now on. So I can dismiss these cases. Simple. When they don't show up, go ahead. Talk to the person, Becky. Okay, so this portfolio was since January of 2019. That's even, no. Barclays was the one that they filed the order.
Correct, Barclays.
Since 2019. These people are just outrageous. Okay. Okay. So you do have an email sent telling them to please reroute it to the court coordinator, right?
It's in the e-file, yes, Judge.
Okay. Can I ask, Ms. Joanne, it's in e-filing.
Yes.
Can you pull it out to me and send it so that I can sign it? Or maybe I'll have Becky do that.
I don't
That's what I looked for, Judge, and I didn't find no order.
It's over 30 days old, so we can't view it anymore.
So they have to send in another one then.
Correct.
Well, legally, in a status hearing, if nobody shows up, I can dismiss the case. So maybe I'll just dismiss it. For failure to appear. Is what I'm probably going to do on that one. Okay.
They filed a motion for non-suit. If they would have filed a notice, I would have closed it.
I know these attorneys are just ridiculous. They don't know the law. They don't know the law. And they're in Houston and Dallas and Fort Worth, all these places, and they don't even know the law. Okay. Is Miss Becky trying to get Degrassi? That's what she's trying to do, probably.
Judge, I already received the order of non-suit on 2018-3127.
That's the Barclays one.
I need to speak Becky, I need to speak to all the attorneys. They need to learn that they need to give some courtesies and some professional courtesies to this court.
Okay, so you want me to call them too?
Yes, I need to speak to both of them. Okay, now, I think we've finished. Miss, on American Express, Miss Acosta, have they served the defendant, Nancy Barraza?
No, she's unserved.
She's not served?
No, not served. We issued the citation in August of 2018, and we never received a return service back.
Becky.
That's the one that they said they were gonna send me an order of dismissal, Judge.
Right.
Oh, they were?
Yes. But barely right now.
I know, okay.
That's the one I'm on the phone with. She hasn't been able to connect me.
To who?
To Mr. DeGrassi's office.
Okay, okay. Have her connect you. I do want to speak to both, and we don't necessarily need to be on YouTube Live for me to talk to these attorneys, so I can do it later, but I am going to do it. Okay. Thank you, Miss Joanne Acosta. You may be excused. I don't think there's any more civil today. The rest is criminal, right, Miss Acosta?
Correct, yes.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, thank you. Anybody else? I'm going to go off of YouTube Live right now. I think we've finished with my docket. So I am going to go off. Do you want to stop recording? Yes, thank you, everybody.